Stay a while and listen.
What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to be doing the world's first Uber Tristram run with an Act 5 Mercenary. Now I'll be killing Diablo, Baal, and Uber Mephisto with the Act 5 Mercenary, and I will be leaving a link in the description below where you guys can click to different parts of the video. So if you guys want to skip through the whole thing and just watch when I kill Diablo or Baal or when I was done with the run or whatever, you guys can check that out in the link in the description below. So it's going to take a little bit to do this. A lot of luck goes along the way, and it's very time consuming, and I need to be very patient when doing this. Now, I've done this before. I did a video for this back in May, I think, and there was something wrong with my microphone and it just sounded really bad, so I thought I would just go ahead and do the run all over again. So I'm just gonna get started right now, and I'm just gonna put the microphone to the side because I really just want to stay concentrated while I'm doing this and just get the run done. And as far as I know, this is the first time I've ever seen someone trying this with an Act 5 Mercenary. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't even think it was possible with Act 2 Mercenary when I did it, but I actually got it done with Act 5 Mercenary. So let's get into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Good afternoon.
Put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
How may I be of help? Good afternoon.
I'll put that to good use.
Salutations.
I'll put that to good use.
Good afternoon.
I'll put that to good use. That to good use.
Salutations. Good afternoon. Salutations.
I'll put that to good use.
Good afternoon. Salutations.
I'll put that to good use.
Good afternoon.
I'll put that to good use.
Good to see you.
I'll put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
Hello.
use.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'll put that to good use. To good use.
Salutations.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
Good evening.
I'll put that to good use. To good use.
Good afternoon. Salutations.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
Good afternoon.
My brothers will not have died in vain. brothers will not have died in vain. Died in vain.
Salutations.
I'll put that to good use.
Hello.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
Good evening.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
put that to good use. Not enough mana. It's locked.
Hello.
Good evening.
Salutations.
Alright, so there you guys have it. The world's first Act 5 mercenary to do UBERS. Now I'm going to go over all the skills and just go over a few things with you guys and talk a little bit about the fight. And obviously it takes a very long time and it's very time consuming and extremely frustrating at times. And you know, I keep having to get the fade buff for the mercenary when he dies and things like that, and you really gotta have a lot of luck along the way getting the bosses in the mercenary and getting yourself in the perfect position so you're not getting hit as much, and then you're able to heal the mercenary and there's other monsters that aren't in the way. And you know, a lot of luck goes along the way. Like with Mephisto, when he casts those lightning spells, I mean, my mercenary is instantly dead. Doesn't matter if I'm buffed up or whatever. But I did this completely with one character, and I'm just gonna go over the skills and go over the equipment with you guys, and just really go into detail about how, you know, I was able to do this and what items. Which items really made this possible. So the first thing is the mercenaries that I'm going to talk about. So obviously I wanted to do Uber Tristram with an Act 5 mercenary after I did it with the Act 2 mercenary, and the biggest part of this build is just every single item is very, very crucial to this being successful. So using the duress rune word is probably, I don't think there's any other option as far as doing this, because of the crushing blow, chance to open wounds, and just some extra resistances there. It's really all about stacking up crushing blow and having the chance to open wounds. You need to have the chance to open wounds or your mercenary is just not going to be able to do this. Then next up I went with G-Face. That's pretty obvious for the 35% chance of crushing blow, some other good stats there, and I put a chain room into it so I can get the cannot be frozen mod, because there's no other way for him to get that stat unless I put a chain room in it using these items. So, and then one of the other biggest parts is the weapon. Choosing the weapon was probably one of the most difficult parts of this build. Now, when I first did this, you guys probably won't see the video. Maybe I'll post it, I don't know. When I first did this, I did the UBERS with the Act 5 Mercenary using a Death Phase Blade. Now, the reason why I went with a Death Phase Blade is because the Phase Blade can attack very fast. Death has a bonus to attack rating and 50% crushing blow, so that was the big reason why I used that sword. But I actually came across Kingslayer, and I think it's a better choice. I can make it F, and it does more enhanced damage. It has increased attack speed, and one of the three biggest things about this sword is that it has crushing blow and chance to open wounds, which I need both of those the most, and it has a bonus to attack rating because, you know, the Act 5 mercenaries have really low dexterity. They have a really low chance to hit, And the third stat on this weapon is the prevent monster heal, which is really good when you know, the Ubers are getting their health back and things like that. So there's absolutely no other piece of equipment that I use for this build for the Mercenary, except sometimes I put on Kira's Guardian for Mephisto, but sometimes that doesn't work out and I just go ahead and go with this build and then put up Salvation. And then if I do put on Kira's Guardian, I'll put Kira's Guardian on and then go back to Fanatism. So and then as far as my gear for the Paladin, the main gear here is, first things first, you absolutely need Treachery for both you and your Mercenary to get the Fade, so you can get a ton of resistances, a lot of damage reduction, and you absolutely have to have that every single time, in my opinion, to even make this possible. And as far as my gear goes, I'm using the Lawbringer Crystal Sword for the Sanctuary aura. Now the reason why I'm using this is because there's so many undead enemies that Mephisto spawns, and the Uber Tristram and Baal spawns some of them too. So what this aura does is every like 2 seconds it will knock back all of the undead enemies in the area. So it's really good trying to knock back those enemies, getting them out of the way so I can heal my Mercenary, and it's less damage. It's way less damage on me and my Mercenary. So I think that's absolutely a must. And during Diablo and Baal, sometimes I'll switch over to my Heart of the Oak just to get some more skills and get some more damage going there for the Mercenary. And I'm using Enigma for my armor. Now there's absolutely, I tried doing this with the Chains of Honor and it just did not work. You really need to have Enigma so you can control your Mercenary, control where he goes, because he will just start walking around all of the time. Even if you have him in a perfect position and you're healing him and he's fighting Baal and none of the monsters or the Mercenary isn't moving, you know, he might just decide to walk around or do something, and then it really messes up the whole thing that you got going on there when you're trying to kill the boss. So it's really important to have Enigma. And I'm using Crown of Ages. Last time I did this, I had a double bird Crown of Ages, but I just put 2 runes in it just for Mephisto. I don't even know if I'm over the top with the resistances. I'm not really sure, but bird runes are really expensive right now, so I just went ahead and put 2 runes in it. Can't go wrong with that, with Mephisto and his Conviction aura. I'm using Mara's for my amulet, Spiderweb Sash. Another big one is Exile. I tried doing this without Exile. I tried using a Spirit instead, and my Mercenary just gets absolutely destroyed. So it's really important to have the Defiance aura to hook your Mercenary up with something good. Then I'm using Mage Fist and Alder Boots. Now as far as the rings go, when I go to fight Diablo, I'll put up 2 Dwarf Stars to get that 30% fire absorb. When I go up against Mephisto, I use a Wisp Projector, and I use the faster cast rate ring just so I can cast a little bit faster and get those heals going on my Mercenary really quickly. And then sometimes I'll just switch out to the BK ring and do other things like that, or throw in the Thunder Gods if it's really going that bad. And you know, it's all kind of about luck there. Sometimes you can get into a position where you're not getting hit by Mephisto at all, or you could get into a position where he's hitting you and the Mercenary. So, and here's something else I also use from time to time. Spell Steal I use for the level 3 Decryptify, but the only bad thing about this is you have to repair the axe, which is really expensive, and you only get like a 5-second Decryptify, so it doesn't last very long. Now obviously I'm using the Call to Arms and Spirit and the Paladin Torch. I don't have an Annie right now because they're really expensive, and there's really hasn't been a lot of Diablo clones going around. So and then as far as my skill points, well, my stat points, I put enough strength to use my equipment and enough dex to get 75% chance to block with my Holy Shield up, and the rest of my points into Vitality, Energy none. Big thing with the skills here, I put 20 points in the Holy Bolt so I can get the most out of my Holy Bolt for healing my Mercenary. 20 in the Holy Shield, 20 in the Fanatism. Fanatism is the aura that basically makes this possible for the Mercenary. I really had to max that out, and I went with all offensive skill Grand Charms just so my Mercenary could do more damage and have more attack speed and things like that, because an Act 5 Mercenary really swings really slow. So, and then as far as my defensive auras, I put 1 into Salvation, 1 into Cleansing, and I put 20 into Prayer. The reason why I put 20 into Prayer is because it gives a synergy for Holy Bolt. And then I put the rest of my points into Defiance so I can get a little bit more defense from Holy Shield. So, and I think that's about it, guys. I think I've explained everything that I can think of right now. And here's the time right now so we can see what time I did this and what time I got this done. You know, I've never seen or heard this being done before. I saw one post before about someone talking about it, but I think that was with an Act 2 Mercenary. I've never heard of an Act 5 Mercenary doing Uber Tristram, but, you know, a lot of time and effort and, you know, patience goes into this. You know, a lot of testing went into all this, trying to figure out what I should use to make this possible without having other players help me and without using too many buffs like an enchant from a sorceress and things like that. You know, I could have done a little bit more, but I knew that it was possible doing it with this build because I've done it before. So, but that's about it, guys. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a part of my channel. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want to keep up with Diablo 2 content, and make sure you guys check the link in the description below where you guys can click on the links and you can skip to whichever part of the video you want to go to. If you want to go to when I killed Mephisto, if you want to go to the end of the fight, or if you want to go to the part where right now where I explain the skills and all that stuff. You know, just check that out so you guys can go to the part of the video that you want to see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to keep up with Diablo 2, and I will see you guys on my next video.